was at a sports game, a concert, or even on campus during lunch break. You're craving something to quench a developed thirst. Your instinct is to reach for a disposable water bottle. After your meal or drink, you gather your trash and you throw it away. With that pile of trash is a disposable water bottle, which should have been recycled but typically isn't. For most of us, once a water bottle is disposed of, it's out of sight and out of mind. Though disposable water bottles have been may seem very harmless, they can have a tremendous impact not only on ourselves, but also our environment as a whole. Today, I will explain the problems associated with the use of disposable water bottles, some of the causes and the solutions. Extent. Around the globe, it's estimated that 500 billion bottles are used on average a year. Most are not recycled, told Sarah Klaus to the New York Times, James 2018. In the United States alone, 38 billion water bottles ended up in the landfills instead of recycling facilities. Renee 2018. Once in the landfill, the plastic can take up to 1,000 years or more for the bottles to biodegrade, according to Douglas 2018. This would mean there would be multiple generations until we saw the decomposition of these bottles, which with the continued disposal would accumulate to a ridiculous amount of plastic waste. Environmental. When the plastic degrades, it breaks down into microplastics, which finds its way into water supplies and oceans. Scientists estimate that by 2050, the amount of plastic in the ocean will be more than all the fish. Renee 2018. And if we think for a second that we are immune to the ingestion of microplastics, we have to think again. In one study, it was discovered that after testing 259 total bottles from all over the world with different brands, that 93% of the bottles analyzed showed traces of microplastics in the water that they contained. Mason 2018. Not to mention that with the continued use of plastic water bottles, the trace amounts of microplastic in the water would only increase. What are the reasons for our dependence on disposable water bottles? Structural. More than 2 million Americans live without basic access to safe drinking water and sanitation, stated by the organization U.S. Water Alliance. Since not everyone has access to safe tap water, disposable water bottles may be some people's only source of clean water for various needs. Cheap and easy availability of water bottles at the stores is another contributing factor for the demand of disposable water bottles. A 24-pack of water can cost anywhere from $3 to $4 here in California, potentially less in other states and also other parts of the world. Attitudinal. Convenience is also playing a role because instead of going back and forth to the water fountain, you can drink from a disposable water bottle and not have to worry about refilling afterwards. What can we do to solve these problems? Solution. We as a nation can move towards banning the sale of single-use water bottles at beaches, parks, or even ban them entirely. Much like California did in 2016 with single-use plastic water shopping bags. Cal Recycle 2020. Programs can be created to educate children or the public on the dangers of plastic water bottles, on top of one's personal health. Plastic bottles can be replaced with biodegradable alternatives like cardboard cartons, which are used on some major cruise lines now. Elaine 2018. Having more available water bottle refilling stations in public spaces, much like on our campus, would encourage more people to use refillable water bottles instead of disposable. What we can do today is use reusable water bottles more often, if not at all times. When we do have disposable water bottles, we should be recycling them instead of throwing them away in the trash. Although disposable water bottles may seem very innocuous, they can have a detrimental impact on ourselves and also on our environment as a whole. I explained the problems associated with the use of disposable water bottles, the causes, the solutions, and in summary, we do not have to continue the current status quo. All we can do, all of us can have a tremendous impact on the planet if we work together by changing the way we drink our water. If not for the sake of the planet, then for the health of each other and every individual that exists on it.